Have you ever found unexpected love in the most unlikely of places? Craig and Tweek's love story in South Park brings heartwarming laughter, delighting fans worldwide. But can their love survive in the quirky town of South Park? Join us as we relive the hilarious moments of Creek, where the unexpected romance between Craig and Tweek brings a touch of sweetness to South Park's wild and wacky world. But before we do that, make sure to hit the like button and press the bell icon to join our wonderful YouTube community. In the South Park episode Tweek x Craig, the relationship between Tweek and Craig takes center stage. The episode explores the concept of yaoi art and the acceptance of the gay community. It begins when PC Principal and Wendy introduce the students to yaoi, a genre of Asian art featuring homoerotic and homosexual depictions. They showcase manga-style drawings of Tweek and Craig engaged in such activities, causing confusion among their friends. Tweek and Craig are called to the principal's office, where they assert that they are not gay. However, the principal informs them that if there is a relationship between them, it must be based on affirmative consent. This leads to discussions among the characters about the arbitrary decisions made by Asians regarding who is portrayed as gay in yaoi.
Just wanted to check in, see if you have any questions for me.
Why are the Asian girls drawing pictures of us being gay?
What's wrong with being gay? Nothing wrong with that.
But we aren't. I'm not. I'm not either.
That is completely irrelevant, okay? What matters, and the reason I brought you in here, is that you understand affirmative consent.
Randy, Stan's father, tries to appear politically correct and concludes that Asians have the authority to decide who is actually gay. He becomes thrilled when Tweek and Craig are perceived as a gay couple, with Thomas, Craig's father, initially struggling to accept it, while Tweek's parents celebrate and embrace their son's newfound identity. As the episode progresses, Cartman fantasizes about his Cupid-like alter ego, Cupid Me, who intervenes to help Tweek and Craig's relationship. Cupid Me shoots Craig with a love arrow, but Cartman rejects his advances. The tension between Tweek and Craig escalates, resulting in a fight that is dismissed as a lover's quarrel. They are given money and no punishment, as their disagreement is perceived as a typical part of being in a relationship.
No one can lift the damn thing.
Amidst the confusion, Randy contacts the Chinese president to seek clarification about yaoi, but the president angrily denies any involvement and goes on a rant about the rape of Namking. Kyle then explains to Stan and others that yaoi is an art form created by girls for girls, meant to make men appear attractive. In an attempt to put an end to the matter, Craig convinces Tweek to publicly announce that they are gay and stage a fake breakup. However, Tweek becomes carried away with the performance, portraying himself as the victim. Craig becomes unpopular, and yaoi artists find more inspiration in Tweek's heartbreak. Meanwhile, Cartman seeks help from Cupid Me, and they agree to a date as payment. Tweek apologizes to Craig for manipulating their situation, but Craig rejects the idea of pretending to get back together. However, Thomas, Craig's father, begins to accept his son's sexuality after being struck by Cupid Me's love arrow. In the end, Tweek and Craig reunite, holding hands in public and bringing joy back to the town. The episode satirizes the complexities of relationships, the influence of popular culture on perceptions of sexuality, and the misunderstandings surrounding yaoi art and the gay community. Tweek vs. Craig is the 5th episode of Season 3 of South Park. It originally aired on June 23, 1999. The episode revolves around a fight instigated by the boys between Tweek and Craig in their shop class. Meanwhile, their shop teacher, Mr. Adler, is haunted by a recurring dream of his lost love. The episode begins with the boys in shop class, where Mr. Adler asks them who the biggest troublemaker is. Stan and Kyle point to Tweek, while Cartman claims it's Craig. They make a bet of $5 on a fight between Tweek and Craig. Cartman tells Craig that Tweek called him a poop eater, and Craig decides to fight Tweek, flipping him off. Tweek agrees to the fight, and it is scheduled for after school. After school, the boys gather to watch the fight and raise the bet to $10. However, they discover that both Tweek and Craig have gone home without fighting. Stan and Kyle find Tweek and lie to him, saying that Craig insulted him and challenged him to a fight. Cartman and Kenny go to Craig's house and tell him that Tweek called his guinea pig, Stripe, a sex toy. This angers Craig, and they agree to reschedule the fight for the next day.
Programs, get your programs here, programs.
Remember, Tweek, punch hard, punch low. This is when you gotta get mean, Tweek. Mean.
The spirit of the dragon is in your hands. Per sure de sorcerer, per long sorcerer. All right? Okay.
Meanwhile, Mr. Adler, the shop teacher, is dealing with emotional stress due to the death of his fiancée. He constantly looks at a photo of her and experiences flashbacks of her tragic death in a plane crash. He relies on nicotine gum for comfort, but it becomes less effective over time. On the second day, the boys hold a pre-fight press conference in the cafeteria. However, Cartman and Kyle end up in a severe fight involving Stan and Kenny as well. The other kids are oblivious to the fight, as they only care about the Tweek versus Craig showdown. Eventually, Tweek and Craig show up for the fight, but they are unsure how to fight. The fight is rescheduled once again, and the boys train Tweek and Craig. Stan and Kyle teach Tweek how to box, while Cartman teaches Craig sumo wrestling. However, Craig loses to Cartman, who is asked to turn professional by the sumo master. Meanwhile, Mr. Adler runs out of nicotine gum and decides to kill himself by lying on the saw belt in the shop class. Kenny, who has been transferred to shop class due to his poor performance in home economics, enters and briefly talks to Mr. Adler before the latter's suicidal act. Finally, the fight between Tweek and Craig begins, and they crash into Mr. Adler's classroom. Mr. Adler tries to intervene but fails. Kenny ends up getting caught in a jigsaw, leading to his death. However, he has a vision of his dead fiancée, who teaches him a lesson about life and death. She tells him that happy times matter more than saying goodbye, giving him a new lease on life. Tweek and Craig end up in the hospital, and the boys apologize to them, admitting that they made up the fight just to see who would win. However, a new fight ensues when the boys fabricate a story about their parents trash-talking each other's sons. In the episode Put It Down of South Park, the relationship between Tweek and Craig is put to the test when Tweek becomes caught up in a petty conflict. The episode explores the dynamics of their relationship and how they navigate through their differences. The episode begins with Tweek performing a song about recent events with North Korea at a concert at South Park Elementary. However, Tweek's anxiety gets the best of him, and he panics, fearing that North Korea will bomb the United States. This incident sets the stage for the conflict between Tweek and Craig. At the South Park Elementary cafeteria, the boys discuss Tweek's behavior, and Craig expresses his frustration at Tweek's inability to listen to him. Meanwhile, Cartman is dealing with his own relationship issues with Heidi. Tensions rise as Tweek obsesses over the president's tweets about North Korea, leading him to suggest sending cupcakes to the country as a peace offering. Tweek's plan backfires when the president's response mocks Tweek and escalates his anxiety further. Craig tries to comfort Tweek by giving him a fidget spinner, but it only provides temporary relief. As the episode progresses, Tweek's anxiety intensifies, and he becomes increasingly overwhelmed by the president's tweets. In parallel to Tweek and Craig's storyline, Cartman takes on a different cause, advocating for suicide prevention. His actions, though misguided, shed light on the importance of addressing mental health issues. The episode highlights the serious consequences of distracted driving and suicide, underscoring the need for awareness and support. Tweek's anxiety reaches a breaking point when he witnesses a missile launch and reads the president's offensive tweets. Craig tries to calm him down, and they have a heartfelt conversation about Tweek's feelings of helplessness and being trapped. Together, they find solace and support in each other, coming to the realization that they can take control of their own lives. In the episode Gnomes of South Park, Tweek and Craig's relationship is not the central focus. However, they are shown as part of the group assigned to write a report together. Tweek is depicted as a very nervous and highly caffeinated boy, constantly worried about gnomes stealing his underpants. On the other hand, Craig is one of the main characters in the show, but does not have the prominent role in this particular episode.
I think my mom is a corporation. Yeah, that makes sense. You guys!
Tweek's jittery nature and anxiety add a comedic element to the story, as he becomes increasingly stressed about the report. The episode primarily revolves around the boys' involvement in a bigger plot concerning big corporations and their impact on small businesses, particularly Tweek Bros Coffee House. The boys end up becoming the poster boys for the anti-big business movement. While Tweek and Craig do not share many interactions or scenes together in this specific episode, their friendship is a recurring theme throughout the series. In previous episodes, Tweek and Craig have been portrayed as close friends, often seen together and supporting each other. However, their relationship is not explored in depth in Gnomes. Tweek and Craig's relationship in this episode acts as a comedic portrayal of their contrasting personalities. Tweek's hyperactivity and anxiety provide comic relief, while Craig's composed and deadpan reactions create a balance. Despite their differences, they manage to work together, albeit with some distractions along the way. So, which Creek moment you liked the most in South Park? Let us know in the comments section and subscribe for more videos.